I call on the evaluator for speech number 2, David Ryan.
Madam Toastmaster, let me elucidate the objectives of our second speaker, Judith Ferber's speech. Judith will be delivering a speech on communicating change. And the purpose of the project is for Judith to practice skills needed to effectively communicate change to a group or organization. And the purpose of the speech specifically is for Judith to practice speaking about change. Best of luck, Judith, and back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, Judith Ferber, a woman with a purpose. She joined Toastmasters and went where only 1% of Toastmaster members have gone, earning the highest level of educational achievement, the Distinguished Toastmaster Award. Because Judith is on a mission with a defined plan, I encourage you to take notes as Toastmaster Ferber just may answer your questions regarding Toastmasters' blended program, Speechcraft. I present Judith Ferber, Speechcraft Revisited, Judith Ferber.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. I couldn't have said it any better. Thank you for the introduction, and fellow Toastmasters, and if we have any guests, we don't have any guests. Many of us who have been in Toastmasters for many, many years know that one of the main issues that we have is club membership retention. And especially in COVID time, there were so many clubs around the world lost many members. And I'm hoping that it's not going to happen when our membership fees goes up $15 more in the fall, which I am not too happy about. So one of the programs that Toastmaster International introduced to us for so many years ago is Speechcraft. Now, some of you know Speechcraft and some of you may not know Speechcraft. Speechcraft is a program where Toastmasters presents the fundamentals of public speaking. These sessions, which run for 4, 6, or 8 weeks, depending on the discretion of the club, how long they want to have these 1 hour a week sessions, introduces non-Toastmaster members to public speaking. It is a condensed version of Toastmaster programs. Now, one of the things that happens with Speechcraft is we got all these people together, 5 people. It's one of the important things. Let me elucidate. Toastmaster sells a program for $50 for 5 members. If you have 6 members, you have to buy another $50 of package for Speechcraft. It is in a digital form today. One of the things that Speechcraft program has shortfalls, in my opinion, as Toastmaster International introduces, is that people join. They go through this 4, 6, 8 weeks program. And when they finish, they say, oh, I don't know if I want to join the club. I think I learned enough, and I don't think I want to join. So that's a problem because it takes a lot of work to run a Speechcraft program. You have people who conduct the meetings. We have mentors to each of these non-Toastmasters, so then help them to develop their speeches. And then we find at the end that they don't want to be members of the club. So in my travels around the world, at Toastmasters World, I found absolutely a fantastic and a better, more effective way to make sure that the speechcraft that we put all this energy together to have more members to our club really works. Now, there is one important thing. We have to tell these non-Toastmasters, or these speechcrafters, we call them, that their ideas, as Chris Anderson of TED Talks would say, worth spreading. They have ideas that we help them to develop. So instead of, or addition to, that most people who want to be in Toastmaster organizations say, oh, I am so terrified of standing in front of people. I can't think of anything to say. I can't get a speech together. My boss wants me to put a presentation with PowerPoints and speaking, and I am just terrified. I just don't know how to do it. Yes, that's something we do, help them. But one of the important things, in my opinion, is to make these people understand that they have ideas that we can help develop. Because we learn from these Toastmasters, these speechcrafters, just as well as they learned from us. Second is we also explain by demonstrating communication skills, how to communicate these ideas they have to other people. But the main thing is how to retain these members we have in Speechcraft. The best way to do it is sign up or start this particular session in the middle of the membership sessions, 3 months or 2 months into our membership. So they pay $10 because it's $50 for 5 people. They pay $10 each, and then they pay additional whatever the configuration of this money is for the membership. So we signed up these people to be members of the club. So they start pathways. By the time they finish a 4, 6, 8-week program, they finish level 1. They become part of the community, part of the Toastmaster Club, and they will renew their membership. I have done exactly that last year when I was a coach of a very failing club with only 3 members that had 5 speechcrafters. We did exactly this program, and we got 8 members by the end of the 4 weeks Speechcraft program. It really works. And I find out this is about the only way this really works, to have these people part of the club, mentors, and it is really successful. And then at the end of the 4, 6, 8 weeks, you can celebrate and say, wow, we really did it. And we did, actually. Follow the leaders was the club that stayed in the Toastmasters. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster.
Evaluator for Judith's speech, and that is David Ryan.
Judith, you had a very powerful message for us, and that is that speech crafters have ideas worth spreading, and we can help them spread those ideas and develop those ideas. I loved the topic of your speech. It struck me personally because I'm interested in potentially running a Speechcraft program. So I was personally invested from the very start, even from the very title of your speech. I want to commend the energy, your framing within the screen. So I felt you had that presence and you were delivering a speech that you cared about. you used the full time allotted to you, and I commend you for that. But what I'd like to challenge you on is to focus and use all of your time for the delivery of the message that you're trying to get across. You had a great message in terms of the example that you were giving, that this is how to run Speechcraft effectively to maximize the return on the effort that you're putting in, and it's a big investment. But you distracted a little bit from that message when you spoke about the increase in Toastmasters members' fees. When you spoke about how it can be a lot of effort, and when you spoke about membership retention, which is a separate issue from getting new members in. So I challenge to focus on the core message, which is how do you get new members in, and give us more of that powerful example that you have on how you were successful in increasing membership from 3 to 8. Some more stories from that, some personal examples from that use case, and that can help us learn. I'd love to know, who was involved, who are the personalities, how we can learn from that example that you gave. All that said, it was a very well delivered speech. You had a powerful message, and you got me. I know now to go and run a Speechcraft. I need to do it in the middle of the term, and I can, if I do it right, I can get 5 new members. And so I'm definitely going to be reaching out to you afterwards, Judith, to pick your brain and get some more of those ideas. I love the speech, and well done, and hope to hear more from you in the future. Thank you.
Well, obviously, Judith did an excellent job in reaching the goal, which was to make an influence, at least on David. I have worked with Speechcraft, and it is a lot of fun. It was a good evaluation with good feedback on basically, everything got covered. The only thing I would recommend maybe would be to suggest to Judith, so how many new members did you get? So you kind of show the proof in the pudding. I don't know the origin of that phrase, but so you elucidate the results of running a Speechcraft program. So Judith, if you could bring in that rah moment at the end, I think that would have been a really nice and convincing way to get everybody more excited about Speechcraft. And I thought that, actually, I'm going to ask back to David. Do you feel that you got more understanding in who was this speech targeted to? Because you got to know your audience when you write a speech. So who was Judith speaking to, and did she succeed? Well, she did. I don't think we have to answer that again.
I felt that, and I'd love to hear Judith's perspective on this as well. I felt that Judith's speech was targeted at Toastmasters who knew about Speechcraft, but didn't know how to maximize the return on investment of running a Speechcraft program. Is that fair, Judith?
Judith?
I'm sorry, Sandra, but I said actually that I had 5 members from 3. So I did say that the success was that from 3 members, we got to 8. So anyway, that I did say that.
Maybe help the people who aren't fully attentive.